There's a strong feeling that interest rates at the back end of this year will start to decline, and people don't want to leave it too late, to get into the market. So
mate, talking commercial property this morning, but first off, let's chat about where we are, right? So Elizabeth Towers, is this not the biggest residence area you've ever seen?
Oh, this place is, it's absolutely stunning. Yeah, when you first walk in here and actually see this real scale of it, and especially the general common areas, it is really, really significant.
Yeah, it's bigger than anything I've ever seen up in, places like Auckland and that. This is huge, So Mark, talking commercial property, right, around Tauranga, where do we start? First up, right, I was up in the penthouse for this building maybe half an hour ago, and looking across the skyline, a whole bunch of cool projects going on.
Yes.
What's the vibe for that? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I think locally people are really excited. There's probably 5 or 6 real key landmark projects that are underway. So I think we've never seen so many cranes in the sky in Tauranga since I can remember. I think, as everyone knows, it has been pretty tough times in the Tauranga CBD over the last sort of 10 years. And people on the ground, tenants, businesses, everyone's really excited about the next sort of 5 to 10 years in terms of the key projects that are coming on stream.
Yeah, it's quite cool, right? And you've got some pretty exciting buildings. We've got the City Council's new timber building, which is cool, looking really good. Cool. Starting to get some glass on it. Civic precinct. And, the thing that strikes me, like chatting to some of the developers down here, is that they really care for what's actually happening.
Yes.
They're not like a cut and run type developer that you see in some markets. Like they seem like really personally invested in like achieving something cool.
Yes. Oh, there seems to be some great, you could say, like legacy projects underway. If you think about 2 Devonport Road, which is a really stunning...
It's down by the water.
Yeah, down by the water at the end of the Strand, at the start of Devonport Road. It's going to have stunning views overlooking the Tauranga Harbour, Port of Tauranga, Mount Maunganui. We also think about the Northern Quarter. That's going to be a really exciting, building that's, coming on stream. And we're seeing some really strong, tenant interest and interest from tenants that probably, say, 10 to 15 years ago moved out of the CBD.
Yep.
And there's really strong, interest in coming in back into the CBD to support the town centre.
And that's interesting, right? Like one of the themes we see across a lot of the commercial markets, particularly for office, is this flight to quality. And I think the cool thing now is we're actually starting to get some good options.
Yes.
And it's going to change the benchmarks around probably rentals down here, right?
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're seeing, there's been a significant, increase in terms of rentals, and like you say, really that's down to the quality of the builds, the quality of the facilities that we haven't seen in Tauranga for the last sort of 10 years. So plenty of tenants are willing to pay the increased rates, the A-grade rates, because they know their employees are really excited about it.
Yeah, one of the cool things down here, right, particularly on those new builds, is once you get a little bit of height in the CBD, like you're getting some mean views, which is real cool. Cool, and then sort of changing tact a little bit and just thinking about the commercial investment side of things.
Yes.
So if we look at maybe the last, say, 2 years, particularly last year, right, things were quite quiet across all of New Zealand for commercial property sales. What's the vibe heading into this year?
Yeah. The first quarter of this year has been really strong for us.
Yep.
We've seen a really strong number of transactions. That's both lease and sales deals. But in saying that, it feels like the last sort of probably 3 weeks have been a little bit softer.
Yeah.
Definitely investors are still cautious out there. I guess what we're seeing in the market and feedback from buyers in the market, I think if they've got a need or that they want something, they're out there, they're willing to pay the money. But there's a lot of, our main core investors that are, a little bit cautious just about the next sort of 6 to 12 months as well.
Yeah, okay. And is it economic sort of concerns, or is that just finance, or just a range?
I think it's a range of things. I mean, interest rate inflations have been at the top of everyone's list, so they've been constantly watching them. But we are starting to see a few tenant vacancies appear in markets, especially industrial markets, which we haven't seen vacancies for the last sort of 5 years.
Because the market down here has been tight, right?
It's been so tight, and we've been seeing a huge increase in sort of baseline rentals, but as vacancies start to start to increase, investors are a little bit more cautious at the current interest rates.
Yeah, mate, makes sense, eh? And there's still been some pretty sharp deals in here, right?
Yes.
Like around the Mount for industrial.
Yeah.
Some of the yields are, like when interest rates start to go up and yields start to move, people are like, oh, they're going to move by like X amount. I think down in, up in Auckland recently, the general vibe and our property council market outlook was that yields had moved by like 1.5% from peak, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's still been some deals down here in industrial around the Mount that have been like super sharp.
Yeah, I mean there is, obviously in the Mount there's a limited amount of land and in some of the prime locations, long-term investors are willing to pay, pay really good prices, to own those. So they're probably not looking at the 1-5 year returns. They're looking longer term into the future.
It's like a little trophy industrial.
It is indeed. It's a great part of the world. Yeah.
No, it's cool. And what's your sort of view or outlook for the rest of this year? Like, what do you think we'll see?
I guess what we're hearing from buyers in the market. I think there's a lot of people that think I think in the next 3 to 6 months thinks it's a good opportunity to buy.
Yep. Like good cyclical point.
Yeah, good cyclical point where there's a strong feeling that interest rates at the back end of this year will start to decline and people don't want to leave it too late, to get into the market. So, the people we talk to, there's still a lot of investors, a lot of money out there that is looking for a home, and I think probably the back end of this year, we'll start to see a good increase in activity levels.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, right? Like thinking about that timing of the cycle, because crystal ball out here, but it does sort of feel like you get to the end of this year, interest rates starting to come down, stock on market's going to get a bit tighter as like transactions start going through and clearing it out. So like the next 6 months might actually be the pick of this cycle, maybe.
Yeah, I agree, and I think what we're seeing from developers or add value investors in the market is that because of the cost to build, the cost to develop, with land and construction costs, a lot of people are looking for opportunities to repurpose existing assets. So whether that's industrial, office, this is where they sort of see the value and the upside in this market. So I think we'll see, a lot more investor attention on on B grade, C grade.
Like some of the dated stuff coming through.
Yep. There's some really good, opportunities and money to be made to add value.
Yeah, it's cool. It's exciting. Well, look, Mark, thanks very much for catching up. Hanging out at Elizabeth Towers today. So, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Yeah, awesome. See ya.